Final Four this weekend. It's right in our backyard in San Antonio, Texas, the Alamo Dome. We've discussed the games. And, of course, Houston from the Big 12. What a dominant win against Tennessee. They've done that to a lot of people with very few games that did not go their way. Galen Robinson Jr., former Houston guard, joins us. There he is on 365 Sports. Galen, thank you very much. You're on with me, David Smoke, and also with Paul Catalina. How proud are you of your alma mater and what they've done yet again this year?
Honestly, can you guys hear me well?
Yes, sir. Yeah. We can.
Honestly, words can't describe. I know the work that has to go into a winning program, let alone a final. Our guys, they don't skip any steps. They do everything the right way, and it has been a process. I remember that there was no one who showed up to our games in our home arena, and now they have the fact that no one showed up to our games, and now that people have us picked to win as a national title, it's crazy. Like, it's just that there was just so many hard days, so many hard hours that just labor that just went into, winning. And it's just like, I'm glad that those guys are having the success that they deserve to have.
What is day one playing for Kelvin Sampson like compared to day one of year two, day one of year three, where you've kind of got it? I would say that you have to be ready to work.
Honestly, is this a freedom of speech podcast?
Yes.
Okay, so
yeah.
Day one, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I knew that Coach Sampson, his pedigree, his resume, my grandpa, like, they all respected him. So I knew that was a guy that I wanted to play for, even based on whenever we used to have phone calls. I learned something. But day one of year one was a lot different than day one of year two. And Coach Sampson, he always has this saying, is like, he'd be like, son, what's the best thing about freshmen? They become sophomores. And it's like, until you live it, you don't understand it. But it's like, whenever I became a sophomore, it dawned on me. And it's just like, whenever you're a freshman, you're just so oblivious to everything. You don't know if you're on foot or horseback. But our staff, our coaching staff, they do a great job of just pushing you to be the best you that you can be. And they do a great job of putting you in a position to where you have to grow, getting you out of your comfort zone. And that's why our program is having the success that they're having right now.
They play the way he coaches, right? The team, the defense, obviously they have some players that can light it up, but I love watching them play. And it's almost as if they're like slowly but surely smothering you, but hell no, they get to you right off the top, don't they? What's the mentality of the way they play defense and the kind of defense he wants you to play?
It's basically not giving your opponent anything. It's funny because a lot of days, like especially in March, I go back and watch my teams play, and we were severely undersized. Like, our starting center was 6'7", and it's like we were undersized, bullying people. And I just feel like that's just the identity that Coach Sampson has taken on. Is just, you just want to be the tougher team, and you want to be able to impose your will, and you want to be able to go to certain extremes that you want your team to be able to go to extremes that someone else isn't willing to go to. And that's a lot of times that's what you have to go to win. So it's just that mentality of toughness. And it's just, I feel like that's kind of hindered me in my adult life, because I think that I've been Samsonized. I think I can fly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, man, it is, man, that they instill a belief in you yourself, and they opposite for you that you don't think you can, overcome, but eventually you do. And when you do, you feel just on top of the world. And it's just like that belief that you have in yourself that, you can overcome anything. That's what they do a great job of.
Again, Galen Robinson Jr. Your father played at Houston too, put up good numbers. You played, what I saw this, 136 games in your career. You also won over 100 games as a player. So there's some guys on this team that have been there a long, long time because there's those extra years and COVID and much more. Juwan Roberts has been around a long time, Arsenault and others. But man, you must have been a grinder and tough. How did you ever miss any games at all during your career? Maybe early on you didn't play, but
no, I didn't. I played every game, didn't miss any. It's just one thing I will say is Coach Samp, he knew me because he recruited me out of high school, and he had a year to recruit me, and he had the year to evaluate me. It was some days he went to my mom's school to see my mom teach. He just knew me through and through, and it's just he did a great job of he always told me that, son, like, Galen, son, if I give you something, I can take it away. But if you earn it, I can never take it. And that's one thing that stuck out for me from my recruitment is he never promised me anything. It was just, if you're going to get something here at the University of Houston, you're going to earn it. And if you earn it, it's yours. I can't take it away. And he kept his word from whenever I signed to whenever I graduated. And, that's just the type of guy you want to play for. The coaching staff, you feel like they have your back. And because of that feeling, it makes you want to do whatever is needed to be done for them. It's such a close. I might be talking off the whims here, but it's such a close knit organization. The Houston basketball family, man. I'm just so grateful to have been a part of it, and I'm glad that they're having. Like I said, I'm glad they're having the success they're having right now.
You can't play for them if you don't play defense, and there are probably a lot of players that come out of high school and AAU and club ball that don't like playing defense. They've never been asked to because you're in some of these teams like, hey, you can be on a super team, you don't really have to play defense. Everybody just goes and scores. What is that like to watch? And to develop into a defensive player, watching some guys that may not have been completely bought in on it until they walked in the door at Houston with Kelvin Sampson.
What's up? We outside. Having fun doing what I want, cause you know the sun beating down kinda like a drum. Look how I do it. Look how I do it.
Another beautiful day out there, folks, so get out there, but don't forget your sunscreen, UV and
I just wanna have a good time. It's all on me. Pleasure's mine. The weatherman said it's the right time, so we gon' get it jumping till the night time. We gon' get it. We gon' get it. We gon' get it. We gon' get it. We outside. Yeah, I might just take a dive with it, feel alive with it, ride with it, cause I'm fly with it. Loud with the trouble, loud with the bass. No clouds in the way, smile on my face. Look how I do it. Look at me, look at me, look at me splash. Look at me, look at me, look at me splash. Look at me, look at me, look at me splash. Look at me, look at me splash.
Yes, if you're not willing to play defense, you can't play for Coach Sam. I know that I was a 4-year starter and being an incoming freshman, I had a guy who was ahead of me. His name was Ronnie Johnson, played and started at Purdue, talented guy. But the edge that I had on him was defense. I was longer, I was more active, more youthful, whatever the case may be. But defense was kind of my gateway to get on the court. And understanding Coach Sampson's vision and the type of team that he wanted to have, and as well as the type of player that he wanted me to be, it was easy for me to give my all because I just wanted to play. And I'll never forget, we were in Vegas for a tournament. We were playing Wyoming. Shit. We were playing Wyoming. And they had this kid named, his name was Josh Adams. And he was like, this is how crazy it was. He called me into his hotel suite in Vegas. And I was like, damn, am I in trouble? I'm like, shit, what's going on? So I walk in. And he like, Galen, son, you're starting tonight. I want you to know one thing. This kid, he averages 30, and he's going to give you 30. but it's okay because he gives everybody else 30. Just try your hardest and do your best. And I was just like, oh, shit, I got you, coach. And sure enough, he had about 31, but it's just like I gave my best effort. And the thing about it is the kid was a senior, I was a freshman, and the thing is he can tell that I made a concerted effort to do the very best that I could. And the kid had to make some tough shots, and but that was what worked for Coach Sam.
We got a guy, Big Jack 512, is there's a chat room that goes, you know him? Yep.
Yeah,
he said that
sure.
Galen Robinson, the godfather of 21st century U of H hoops.
Shit. I feel undeserving, man. I feel like all I did was come in and do what I was accustomed to doing. But, it wasn't easy. And I'm glad that it can be the work that I put in is recognized, because it was definitely tough. But, I just came in and did my job, and I'm glad that, people just associate me with winning,
Well, when I reached out to a few people, because we've had guys who cover Houston on the show, and Reed Geddes, another former point guard, he'll be with us tomorrow. He was on with us last week. He was a part of that famous Phi Slamma Jamma team in '83. And but I was told, hey, you got to get Galen Robinson Jr. on the show for all he did for University of Houston basketball. And so we're glad that we do have you. So how much did what Kelvin Sampson taught you as a basketball player, the discipline, the toughness, the resiliency, the focus, has helped you in your clothing company that you have that is something that has what you also for suicide awareness prevention, which is awesome that you're doing that?
It's just not only is Coach Sam, not only is he a great coach, but he's a sensational teacher. And it's just the lessons that he teaches you through the game of basketball. They go along with the lessons of life. And the stuff, the toughness that he instills with you is just like nothing worth having is ever going to be easy. There's always going to be adversity, and adversity, if it's not here, then it's on its way. So just being resilient, weathering the ups and downs, and never getting too high and too low, and just believing in yourself. Because I think Kobe Bryant, he said he had a famous quote, and it's like, the storm isn't going to last forever, and Coach Sam, he does a great job of him, Coach Kelvin as well, just breathing life into the guys, making them that believe they can conquer anything, and it's just like Coach Sampson, he was such an invaluable father figure for me, because he made me believe that I can achieve, he made me like I can achieve shit that is probably foolish, but that's just whenever you're Samsonized, which is what I am, you just carry that mindset with you in everything. It's like the team that I'm on now, this is my 6th year being professional. And it's just like my coaches, they always talk about my mindset and my mentality on the defensive end of the court. And it's just like, brother, this is Kelvin.
The key, Galen, I think the key to being like a hard-ass coach is you can't just be a hard-ass for the sake of being a hard-ass. You have to have this level of compassion. You have to be – I think that's why Nick Saban was so good at what he did is, yeah, he was a hard-ass for sure, but everybody bought in and everybody knew that he had their back and he trusted them. Mm-hmm. And Kelvin Sampson, to me, has that same kind of demeanor of I'm going to – wring every last drop of effort I can get out of you. But I'm going to let you know that I appreciate it and that, it's not, you don't just owe it to me because you're here. We're all in this together.
Yeah. And I feel like that's the greatest ability a coach can have is relatability. And I'll never forget, I was leaving my on-campus home, and I was driving to the gym, and I got pulled over by the little campus cops or whatever. Why, I don't know, but I remember I was so scared. The first person I called was Coach Sam. and he was on the phone with me throughout the whole situation. I don't even know if he remembers that, but it's just like whenever they make their players feel loved and cared about, and so you love and care about them, and there's a level of trust that's developed because of the family type atmosphere from like the athletic trainer, which is John Houston. John Houston, he was my dad's trainer. So it's just like you take Galen Senior's ankles and now you tape mine. Like, it was just crazy. So from the trainer to our head strength coach to everybody, it's really such a family environment, and it's I feel like that's the best way to get the most out of your guys whenever they're comfortable and they feel like they're in a space where they can thrive.
Big Jack 512 said, great to see you, and appreciated the shout out from you as well. It's been fun to get to know you. You and I went back and forth last week. I think you were traveling. And are you going to be in San Antonio? Are you going to be at the Alamo Dome and hopefully the semifinals and championship?
Me?
Yeah.
Come on, brother. Is the sky blue? Of course.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm there, man.
I just wanted to make sure I don't take anything for granted. By the way, Kyle Visser, thank you for the Galen interview on the chat room. We appreciate that. And let's see what else. Alan, Galen, Ryan, and Brad. What does that mean?
What?
Galen, Ryan, and Brad?
Yeah.
Those are my guys. Go Cougs.
That's Elaine Train who put that. Yeah, so a lot of people love this segment with you, and we have as well. Really good to know you. It didn't work out last week. I'm glad it didn't because it allowed us to be on today and this week with your Cougars, and you're right there in the middle of it. That's your family in the Final Four. So what are your thoughts finally before we let you go about Duke and what they bring to the table, because they're also really good?
Honestly, I respect Duke as a program, but I just have so much belief in our guys. So whatever is needed to be done, I feel like they'll give themselves the best chance to win. But I just want to give a shout out to our program. It means a lot to me because I was there on those little tours when Coach Sampson was trying to go to frat houses and shit to get people to come to the games, and it's just like, it kind of resonates with me a little different because all the blood, sweat, and tears that we poured in early on, and you fast forward and the success that they're having now, it makes me emotional to feel like that I was a valuable part of that, so, and to know that our coaching staff and everybody, Lauren, Aaron Sampson, like, they did everything the right. They did it in-house with their people. They didn't, go to any outsiders. So it just feels special to me to be a part of that. But I just think that we're willing to go to any extremes to win that game. And that's a level of desperation that I don't know if Duke has, because Duke ain't come from where we came from, So I just feel like our guys, they have a chip on their shoulder and they have something to prove. And who better to prove that to than, arguably the number one pick in the NBA draft this upcoming year.
Galen, thank you. Appreciate your time. It's been fun. The guards that Houston has, they've played well. Cryer moved in, of course. He's been there a couple of years, and what Sharp brings to the table. And who's the guy that gets all the defensive?
JoJo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and I mean everybody. Jawan Roberts, smooth as silk, and Arsenault, and I could go on and on. There's a lot of guys that I'm leaving out. Wilson. So good luck. Enjoy the weekend in San Antonio, and thank you very much for your time. This guy won 3 state titles at Westbury Christian in Houston when he was also in high school. So he's a winner in every way. And good luck with your clothing company, and also with you playing in the G League. Is that right? Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that.
Hope one day you get that.
I ain't gonna lie. I didn't enjoy my time on this shit. Can I get one more question?
Oh, all right, sure. All right, let's see.
Okay.
my day job is over. So
Okay, you played in Houston, which obviously Phi Slim and Jamma is a huge part of their history. Who were you more starstruck to first see when they came in? Was it Hakeem? Was it Clyde? Who was it that you got oh crap, this guy is in the building?
My double-sided question. I mean, two answers. But my mom, she loves Hakeem Olajuwon, and as well as my grandpa too. But I'll never forget whenever I was a freshman in high school, and there was a guy, you guys might know his father. His name is L.J. Rose.
Yeah.
And LJ had committed to Baylor, and it's there was all these news cameras, and I looked up to LJ. All these cameras, all these people. I think Clyde, Hakeem, somebody else. It was all these, prominent Houston basketball figures that came to his commitment, and I just remember being I want to have that. I want to have a commitment that isn't as important as his, and it's just whenever I got to Houston, being able to meet Hakeem, being able to meet Clyde, and I'll never get Clyde, whenever he saw me, he was like, well, shit, you're a lot shorter than I thought. It was meeting the Big E, and my grandpa also being able to meet the Big E on my senior night, which is somebody he, watched when he was coming. So it was just a fulfilling feeling, man. But yeah, that's nothing like Houston basketball for sure.
LJ played at Baylor a year, and then went to Houston, ended up at BYU by the end of his career. So Elvin Hayes, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, Galen Robinson Jr., Otis Birdsong. I mean, there's some greatness in the University of Houston, and it's great to hear all of what you've had to say about the program, what it meant to you, being a part of it, Kelvin Sampson, and so much more. And the fact that I have to be honest with you, that I don't know if you really know, you were sure you wanted to be on with us, and now you want us to go longer with you. It
was we had some travel stuff, and I had to pack, and it's just my birthday was yesterday. I just
happy birthday. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just it's been a lot of shit going on, man. So my phone has been ringing nonstop.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get it. I'm glad we got it.
This is not the last time you're coming on this show.
Yeah,
Galen,
no.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, you just locked yourself in.
Y'all got some cooking. This is some good shit right here.
Oh no, we are, and we got a bunch of Cougar fans in the chat room, along with all the other fan bases around the Big 12 and really around the country. But Galen, thank you, man. Enjoy the weekend. I know you will. Thanks for your time, and we will be back in touch. And it's great to have you. Thank you.
Absolutely, I appreciate y'all, man. Go Cougs.
Galen Robinson Jr., how about that? He played in 136 games and won 103 of them. So there's 103 and 33 right there.